So if you want to sit up on something, you can grab a blanket or cushion or whatever you have handy. Come into a comfortable cross-legged position. And either close your eyes or take a soft gaze towards the floor in front of you. Start to slow down your breath. And as you slow down and deepen your breath, you might notice the movement that your breathing creates, the expanding of your lungs and rib cage as you inhale, and a contracting downward, releasing energy as you exhale. So this can be like an anchor to come back to, as if we were beginning a meditation with an intention to be present with what we're doing, and an acknowledgement that for probably most of us, our minds will wander. And when you notice that your mind has wandered, you can come back to your breath. In each inhale, you might look for or create a feeling of spaciousness. Is there anything to lengthen, open, engage, all things outward, up, and active? And each time you exhale, there's already a natural releasing quality. You might feel it if you tune in. And so using the exhale to look for, create a feeling of surrender, groundedness, letting go, all things downward and inward and restful. You can let your eyes open, keeping a soft focus, and feel free to open and close your eyes as it's useful for you throughout your practice. So let's start with a gentle twist. We'll bring left hand across to the right knee, right hand to the floor behind you. As you inhale, sit a little bit taller. As you exhale, rotate a little more, looking back behind you. And then each breath, can you sit a little taller? Can you twist a little more? Keep going in this direction, but then turn your head the opposite way, like you're wringing out your spine. Release and switch. Starting gently, inhales lengthen, exhales twist, and then keep going. Keep going in this direction, turn your head the opposite way, wringing out. And then release back around to the front. Let's interlace fingers in front and put some pressure between the arms like you're going to pull them apart. And feel how this activates the upper back, getting in between the shoulder blades. Maybe even spreading the ribs. And within each pose, feel free to move around or experiment, finding what's interesting. Let's release and interlace behind your back, other thumb on top, open up the chest. You can stay upright or fold forward, and folding might be just dropping your head, or could be coming partway or all the way towards the floor, maybe even reaching arms up and back away from you. Release, come up, hands to knees, round back. Lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin towards your chest. And roll your way back up. Let's recross the legs so the other leg is in front or on top. Sitting tall, drop your right ear over to right shoulder. Press down through both shoulders, but especially the left side, looking for a stretch there on left side of the neck. And you might lift or lower your chin, exploring the different parts of your neck, finding what's most interesting for you. Rotate your chin to your chest. Come over to the other side. Both shoulders drop, but now even more through your right side, looking for a stretch there. Rotate chin to chest, come over to the first side, and then go back and forth, half circle, side to side, watching the sensation move from one side across to the other. Next time your chin is to your chest, stay there. Interlace fingers behind your head and let the weight of your arms hang down, stretching the back of your neck. And then release, arms down, head floats back up. We'll bring hands to the floor behind us, fingers facing forward. Roll your shoulders back and your elbows back. Lift the chest. Take the chest as high as you can, sternum rising up, like you're filling up a balloon in your heart and floating it up towards the ceiling. And then release, come up, hands to knees. Round back, lean away from your hands on your knees, drop your chin. Roll your way back up. Let's come on to hands and knees, tabletop. If you have something you want to pad your knees with, a blanket or cushion, you're welcome to use that. When you place your hands down, try and have hands right under shoulders, fingers spread wide. If you're modifying and needing to take less weight in the wrists, you're welcome to be on your fists with palms facing one another. Make sure they're right under your shoulders. Let's take a few rolls through the spine, starting by lifting head and tailbone arching, and then round. Draw the belly in. Inhale, arch. Exhale, curve. Arch. And curve. Now arch. Shift your weight forward, bend your elbows straight back and dip part way or all the way to the floor and push up from there. Round. Arch. Go forward to dip down. If going all the way down is too much, just do what feels right. Maybe it's just 1 or 2 inches and then you push up from there. Round. Arch. Dip down, slow and smooth. Press up. Round. Arch. One more time, dip down. Press up. Round and then sink back to child's pose, releasing. Hips to the heels. Forehead to the floor. Find a relaxed position for your arms, your neck, your shoulders. Letting go. With arms out in front of you, walk your hands over to the left and then pull back through your right hip, stretching right side a little more. Come through center and over to the other side. Pull back through your left hip, stretching left side a bit more. And then back to center. Let's lift up through table and then come into our first downward facing dog. Take your time getting into this first down dog of class. You might pedal out your feet a little bit, bending one knee as you press the opposite heel towards the floor, waking up the calves and hamstrings, feet. And as with each pose, start with what you know, everything you've learned so far about your body, about alignment in general, about this shape. And then no matter how much or little you already know, can you still be curious? What am I noticing, feeling, discovering now? Can there be ease in that process, letting it be as it is? Let's walk hands and feet towards one another and hang in ragdoll. Feet hip width apart, parallel. Bend your knees a little or a lot. You can take any arm position. You might just let arms hang. You could link elbows. You could rest elbows on thighs or hands on ankles or blocks. Find a position where you can let the weight of your head drop. You might even shake it out or take a little sway or jiggle. Bend your knees a little more and slowly roll up, coming all the way up to standing. Mountain pose, Tadasana. You can have the feet together or apart. If they're apart, just make sure they're parallel. Feel the back wrapping around to the front, creating stability through your core, space in the back. We can bring hands together at the heart, shoulders back and down, long neck. We'll take a full A-series sun salutation. Next inhale, arms sweep high. Exhale, fold forward, swan dive down. Feel free to bend your knees as you go. Inhale, lengthen, part way up. Step or hop your feet back, coming through high push-up. Lower down, chaturanga, elbows bend straight back. Come into your back bend, whether that's cobra or up dog, as low or high as feels right in this moment. So you might have memories of each of these poses, but how is it now? And back to down dog when you're ready. Please take the time you need for all your transitions. There's no need to rush or move at my pace, move at your pace. And then let's rest here, 5 breaths. Could be in down dog, but could just as well come back to child's pose, or sitting, or on your forearms or knees. More important than the shape, coming back to full presence and ease. Slow, steady breathing. We'll come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Again, inhale, arms high. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. Taking the time you need, moving in the way that feels right. From down dog, take your right leg up, bend your knee in, and start circling this bent right knee, making the biggest circle possible for your hip joint. If this would work better for you from hands and knees, feel free to do that, or from your forearms. So you're moving in the way that feels right for you. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight. Circle your ankle a couple times. Big circles, both directions, getting out all those little clicks. Take your leg a little higher, and then bring your right knee towards right upper arm. Extend it up and back. Take it across towards left upper arm. Reach it up and back. Now right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, high lunge. Let's bring the arms up. Sink low. Grab your left wrist. Take it over for a little side bend. Same thing other side. Grab your right wrist. Take it across. Back to center. Interlace fingers behind your back. Lift the heart. Hips low, chest high. Release arms up. Tip forward. Standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. We'll do this with hips square and with the upper body letting go like ragdoll. Let your head hang, let your neck release. Stretch that left leg as straight and long and high as you can, but let it be where it gets. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. Deep bend in the front leg, straight long back leg, arms reaching high but shoulders dropping low. Keep the back wrapping around to the front for stability. One more breath. Release. Make your way back to down dog. Any movement transition. From down dog, left leg sweeps up, bend your knee in, start circling this bent left knee. Next time your leg is up, reach it straight. Circle your ankle a couple times. Both directions. Take your leg a little higher and then bring your left knee towards left upper arm. Send it up and back. Take it across towards right upper arm. Reach it up and back. Now right towards the center of your chest. Extend it up and back. Big step forward, high lunge. If your foot doesn't make it far enough there, you might pick it up and bring it there, or just find the distance, shimmying them apart. Arms up, hips low. Grab your right wrist, take it over, a little side bend. Same thing other side. Interlace fingers behind your back. Other thumb on top this time, though you don't normally cross. Heart lifts, hips low. Release arms up. Tip forward. Standing splits, hands to the floor or to a couple of blocks. Stretch that right leg as long as you can, but let it be where it gets. We're separating the intention from the results. 100% effort, 100% surrender. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. One more breath. Release. Make your way back to a good resting pose. You might take a vinyasa. You might move in some other way. You might just step directly there. Feel whatever you are choosing to do. Take the time you need to do it. And then 5 deep breaths and a good rest. More important than the shape. Coming back to slow, open. Last breath here. Coming back through down dog, step or hop your feet forward, inhaling, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up to standing. Exhale, arms press down. Let's take just the right arm up as we inhale. And then come over to a side bend. Left arm can provide support in the way that works for you. Big reach, like a yawn. Reach a little further out, come up, release down. Same thing other side. Reach a little further out, come up, release down. Interlace fingers, press out through the palms. Take your arms up by your ears. Shoulders drop, arms reaching straight, and then rise up onto your toes for a little balance. So that could be just a slight lift of the heels or coming all the way up or anywhere in between. While you're concentrating on balancing, can you relax your face? Start to fold forward, staying in balance on the toes. You can bring your hands to your legs wherever they meet. Might be the upper legs, might slide lower. So wobbling and falling are a necessary part of a balance practice. We're welcoming those. Make sure you're not overstretching. Make sure you're not locking your knees. And then release. Drop the hands, drop your heels, drop your head. Let that go. Bend the knees. Come into chair, Utkatasana. Hips go back and down like you're sitting into a chair. Head lifts high, shoulders low, fingers high. Everything that's going up and down at once. One more breath here. Release, fold forward. Inhaling, flat back. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. And back to down dog. From down dog, right leg sweeps up, one breath. Big step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Let's come into warrior three. Shift forward and find your balance. If you want to make this easier, you might keep your torso high and your leg low. Make it a dynamic straight line. If you do want it tip forward, keep torso and back leg connected and make sure you're not locking that supporting leg. Any arm position. Arms can be out in front of you, out to the side, prayer position, on your body, feeling your alignment. Last breath here. Step back. Warrior one. Release through your movement transition. From down dog, left leg sweeps up, step forward, high lunge, arms up. Warrior three. So you get to choose the outer shape that feels appropriate. We all have different bodies, different needs, so these poses will look differently. It shouldn't be otherwise. So finding your way, and then within the pose you've chosen, how much can you feel what you're doing? Last breath here. Step back, warrior one. Release. Make your way back to a good rest. Letting go. Letting go of everything we've just done, everything we might do. And just feel what's right here, right now. Last breath. Come back through down dog and step or hop your feet forward, inhaling flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms up, inhale, chair. Exhale, straighten. Again, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Step or hop back, lower down. Up dog or cobra. Back to down dog. From down dog, right leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. Warrior three, one breath. Come in. Step right back, warrior one. From here, let's come into eagle arms. Right elbow on top of left. Put some pressure between the elbows like you're trying to pull them apart to spread the upper back. And let's lift the chest, coming into a little upper back arch. Deep bend in the front leg. And then lean forward, come onto the toes of that back foot and step into eagle, Garudasana. Knee on top of knee. If you can hook your ankle around your calf, do so. If it doesn't reach, just hug it in close. Last breath here. Unwind. Half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Feel free to start by getting your balance with both hands on the floor, and then when you're ready, reach the left arm high, rolling open through the left hip, the left shoulder. Just remembering wobbling is part of it, falling is part of it. Can there be grace in the falling, acceptance in the wobbling? Release. Make your way back to down dog, however you want to get there. No right or wrong way to transition. The transitions are a time for you to care for yourself, integrate what you've just done. Slow down your breath again. From down dog, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge, arms up. Warrior three. Step back, warrior one. Eagle arms, left elbow on top. feeling as much as you can feel. When the poses get more complicated, it's hard to take it all in. So we do the same ones over and over. How much can you take in now? If you get overwhelmed, come back to just feeling that you are breathing, that you are touching the floor. Shift your weight forward. Come onto the toes of that back foot. Step into Eagle, Garudasana. Release. Unwind. Ardha Chandrasana. Going in the directions you know to go in. Meeting your limits where they are perfectly. And just feeling as much as you can how that is. Release. Make your way back to a good rest. Letting go. Let's come back through down dog. Send the right leg up, one breath. Step forward, high lunge. Arms up. And let's come into a twist. So this could be left hand to the floor, right arm up. Or left elbow to the outside of the right knee for a deeper twist, prayer twist. In either case, if you would prefer to do a low lunge, you're welcome to drop the back knee. So you're kind of customizing what you're doing so it suits you. Whatever you're choosing to do, feeling that fully, coming fully into your breath. Last breath here. Release, hands to the floor, or you may want to grab your blocks. Drop the back knee, maybe pat it by rolling up the side of your mat or putting something under your knee. And let's take the hips back for a hamstring stretch. We're going to inch the front foot forward and then flex the toes back. So you end up with hands right under shoulders, knees under hips, or knee under hips, going towards hip square, towards a flat back, towards folding. If you want to go towards splits, you're welcome to. And there's nowhere to get except your edge. So it shouldn't look any other way. Wouldn't be better to go deeper. We're all just navigating our own edges as they change. If you did slide forward, slide your way back. Let's come into lizard pose. We'll bring both hands to the inside and bring your blocks with you. Turn out through the right foot and then shift your weight forward, coming down either onto hands or elbows, blocks or the floor. And there's lots of ways to experiment inside this pose. So you might lean your weight more to the right or left. You could turn the right toes out more or less. If you tuck the back toes under, you could scoot your hips further forward or further back. And if you want to try adding a quad stretch, you might bend the back leg, reach for your foot and draw it in. And so rather than there being one right way to do any of this, we are each exploring our own bodies. being mindful of our habit patterns, the things we've learned along the way, and then using this shape as a way to experiment. What am I feeling? What am I noticing? And learning through trial and error. Let's release and make our way back to down dog. Again, any way you want. Maybe a vinyasa. Maybe just stepping back. Just feeling whatever it is you are doing. From down dog, left leg sweeps up. Step forward, high lunge, arms up. Come into your twist, something similar to what you did on the first side. So right hand to the floor or right elbow to the outside of the left knee, high lunge or low lunge. Release. Hands to the floor. Drop the back knee. Pat it if you like. Inch the front foot forward. Flex the toes back. Hamstring stretch with the option of splits. So as we go towards our limits, it may be more difficult to allow things to be as they are. That's part of this practice, not necessarily to change anything, though change may happen. If you go towards what's tight, there's a chance it will become less tight. But really, can we be in the tightness without there being a problem? Can you feel whatever this pose is stirring up in you? And find that sense of ease you have in child's pose or shavasana. With all the effort, with all the sensation. If you had slid forward, you can slide your way back. We'll bring both hands to the inside, turn out through the left foot. Lizard pose. So as we're exploring and experimenting, having a orientation towards going towards what's tight rather than away from it. So we've got options. If you shift this way or that way, it's going to feel a little different. In general, go towards what's challenging. It can be tempting to keep going towards what's already open and strong because it feels good. But finding that good medicine. Let's release. Take one more vinyasa or movement transition. Using this to even out the two sides. Make your way to sitting. We'll extend the legs forward. Take the flesh of the sit bones back, inch the heels forward. Use your hands to support you folding. Could be on your feet, could be something around the feet like a strap or scarf, or it could be on the floor. What's going to best support you as you lengthen and fold? Wherever you are, shoulders down. And relax your face. Inhale to look up. Exhale, release. We'll come back onto our backs. Bring your knees in and take a little circle or rock with your knees, massaging the lower back into the floor. Feel what's touching the floor. There may be some parts of your back that could use that pressure. And then drop your feet to the floor. We'll get set up for bridge. Feet hip width apart, parallel. Press your feet down. Lift your hips up. Once your hips are high enough, interlace your fingers behind your back and kind of shrug your shoulders underneath you. Spreading upper back, lower back away from one another. Take your arms out of your way. Roll down and rest. If you want to come up one more time, come up again. Could be bridge, what we just did, or any back bend you know or want to try. Listening to your body, feeling for the rightness in what you're doing. And stay as long or short as you like. So it could be just 1 or 2 breaths. Could be a long hold. When the pose feels complete, come down and rest. Let's take happy baby as a counter stretch. And grab the soles of the feet on the inside. Press your knees towards the floor. And this can be done in stillness or with a little rocking. Can keep your legs bent or experiment straightening them one at a time or together, part way or all the way. And then come to something neutral, either where you are now or knees to chest or feet to the floor, and just practice asking, what do I need? What would be good to wind down this practice for me? What's my next pose? So you can finish up in any way that feels good for you. If you want to have time for an inversion, a restorative pose, a hip stretch, more forward folds or back bends, twist. Really anything or nothing. If nothing's needed, you can just start getting comfortable in your final resting pose. But it's great to just ask. Practice asking, even if you're not getting a clear answer. And whether you're choosing something very carefully or just randomly doing something, feel what you're doing. Give it your full attention. And give it the time it needs. Whenever you're done, you can move to the other side if you're doing something asymmetrical, or practice asking again, what now? And you can continue like this, completing your practice in whatever way feels good for you. It doesn't have to be a yoga pose, doesn't have to be anything anyone taught you. Could just be movement or touch. Practicing tuning into your natural body intelligence. Just like all animals, we do have body intelligence, and we can tune into it more with practice. As soon as you feel complete in your physical practice, you can start getting ready for your final resting pose. A very important part of this practice is coming to a little rest at the end. So getting as comfortable as you can. You might adjust your clothing. You might use props. You might do a little self-massage if they're a part of your body that needs some help letting go. On your own time, eventually settle into a symmetrical, relaxed position. You could take a couple of extra deep exhales or even a sigh. And then let your breath be natural without any effort. Let your body rest. Settling into a few moments of not doing anything. Nothing to improve, nothing to fix or figure out. Nothing to move towards or away from, just simply being. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, gently waking your body up. Let this movement increase gradually, maybe your wrists and ankles. Eventually take a big yawning stretch out, as if you just woke up from a good nap. When you're ready, bring your knees in. Roll to one side. And use your hands to help you up to sitting. We'll come into a comfortable cross-legged position. Bring hands together at the heart. And just take a moment to silently thank yourself for your practice. And you might let your gratitude expand out to the people and circumstances that make it possible for you to be here. And that could extend far and wide. Maybe even sending gratitude and well wishes to all beings everywhere. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me today. Hope you have a good rest of your